So, welcome to All Parts from Within. My name is Ishwar. I help people expand their consciousness and accomplish any goal beyond their wildest dreams. Now, in this video, there's a couple of quick tips I want to give to those of you who are struggling with stuff like losing weight or intermittent fasting, especially intermittent fasting, as I mentioned previously. It hasn't yielded those miraculous benefits that they say normally. However, for if you struggle with it, I've found, and a couple of other colleagues have also reported same kind of results. It's way easier to, instead of just focusing on this window of eight hours, and even declining it, kind of trying to make it suppress it and smaller and so on. You could also, the easiest way, the way that it is far more practical to me and to many people, is simply much earlier than you go to bed. Let's say even you could start with like 4 hours earlier, leading up to 6 hours before you stop eating. This helps your circadian rhythm a lot. Okay, and then it's far better. As soon as you get up, you are ravenous. You just you don't binge eat. You don't go crazy like that. Obviously, it would be totally counterproductive to what you're trying to accomplish, which is lose weight. Besides all the other promises that this intermittent fasting has got. The second thing is one of the major concerns, which in many cases some people decide to try intermittent fasting, is the sugar spike. For that, you would. There are times where which me personally, I've got a really sweet tooth, and giving up sugars more of a sacrifice than anything else I've done in the past. Obviously, alcohol is a big one, but sugar is really, really difficult, especially like you're at some kind of a party, maybe a treat where there's this, maybe a chocolate cake, some kind of sweet dessert. So there is a way in which the spike could be substantially reduced. I'm not saying you wouldn't have any impact at all. That's impossible. You're taking in sugar, and that has a direct effect upon your dopamine receptors, which is, I think, by far, which in case of your homeostasis and all these things, honestly, I do think that if you can eliminate, especially white sugar completely, that'll be the best thing you can do. The way it works for me is that I'm a teetotaler. And so what you can do is, in the worst, if it comes to the worst, you just need to, once in a while, maybe perk yourself. For many people, it's a way of staying on track by incentivizing themselves a little bit, pampering themselves because of how hard they've been working on other areas. So what you could do is, you could somewhere, if you're at a party, wherever, get yourself to a place where you have your own privacy, and you could. This has to be as quickly as you can because it affects your heart rate, and as I said, the dopamine receptors, that's something you can't help. But you have to squat, say, 50 times as quickly as. If you can't do very quickly, make sure that you are giving yourself 3 minutes, 3 minutes 15 seconds. If you're taking more than that, then it's hardly having any effect on you. Okay, so especially the sugar spiking thing, you're gonna go a long way by just this one tip. Okay, just stick to this one tip, and this doesn't mean every time you are tempted you just squat and then you go and eat. That would also be a crazy thing, and also you won't. I think so. If you go back to, especially if you're a person who goes heavy on sugar, then you wouldn't even have enough time in a day, or even so much energy to squat as many times for each and every time you have a piece of chocolate or anything. So give this a try, and also share your own tips about how you try to minimize it. If you use stevia, whatever it is, other alternatives and your own experience, I would highly recommend honey. That's a bonus tip. Talk to you soon, and like and subscribe and share with people you care for. God bless.